Hello and welcome back to Linux Game Until I Die. This is episode 59 of my playthrough of Fallout New Vegas. In the previous episode, we finally left the big MT and began exploring the wasteland again. We came across an airport and killed a lot of rad scorpions and a few other bits and pieces, but the main event was that we found a village or a town called Camp Searchlight, I think it was. And there we found the results of one of Caesar's Legion's attacks on the NCR. Basically, they set off a device which basically transformed everybody living in the town into feral ghouls if it didn't kill them outright. We found a NCR soldier who had been transformed into a ghoul. He still had his wits about him, so he's not a feral ghoul yet. He's basically lost all hope, and he's just living in his own little house and trying to stay out of everybody's way. The NCR, if they find him, will kill him because they don't tolerate ghouls of any kind, feral or otherwise. So yeah, he's kind of stuck where he is. We also came across some scavengers who were trying to find some rad suits so that they could raid the town properly without getting irradiated themselves. We hacked a computer and found out roughly where they are, we think. So that's one of the quests we can go and do later. But we started heading towards Caesar's Legion's territory. We found one of their ports where we traded in a lot of NCR dog tags for various equipment and talked to a few slaves. I think we're at the point now where we're about to take the ferry over to Caesar's Legion's main base of operations, so let's just load up the save. You'll have to excuse my voice. I've got a bit of a cold or something. A bit of a frog in my throat. So, it's also been a little while since I played. So, forgive me if I've forgotten to mention something that happened in the last episode. Don't really want to hack that.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver? I am Cursar Lucullus, and my orders are to escort you to the Legion's camp at Fortification Hill. Are you ready to go? You'll be meeting face to face with the mighty Caesar himself, founder of the Legion, conqueror of 86 tribes. To my knowledge, this is the first time Caesar has ever summoned one of the dissolute to see him. Not even tribal chieftains receive this honor. All who are not Legion are dissolute. They live in squalor, unrestrained by morality, lacking moderation, temper, and self-control. Their very existence is a blight on the common good. Even worse are the profligates, the subtype of dissolute one finds this side of the river. They hold themselves to be civilized, when in fact they are corrupt and self-interested. The truth will be made clear to them soon enough. You'd know better than I would, but you must be remarkable for Caesar to take such an interest. The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat. By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. Awe, true to Caesar. Caesar awaits you in his tent. You have license to find your own way. I'll wait here to ferry you back to the western shore when your visit has concluded.
Lips move weird.
Slaves aren't much of a challenge in the arena.
Oh god, yours move even more weird.
You may proceed. Your belongings will be returned when you leave.
There's a lot of crucified people. And yeah, this is a very rudimentary fort.
Hold your tongue, wastrel.
So we can't go out through that gate. Oh, hello, who are you?
There was some kind of massacre at one of the ranger stations. I don't know which one. So you're the visitor I've heard some of the legionaries talking about. If you're in the mood to trade, just say the word. I haven't had the pleasure. I have crossed paths with Legate Lanius, his second in command, however. It was unpleasant. He's the best the Legion has to offer, or so the legionaries say. Brute of a man, wears a fancy metal mask in a battle. He killed one of my pack Brahmins simply because it was in his way. I knew better than to complain about it, though. Shoot. No, sir. I'm an independent trader from Arizona. Not at all. They're my best customers. As long as you don't try to sell them chems or alcohol, they treat you fair. Hell, I don't even need to travel with guards most of the time in Legion territory. All the bandits are dead or run off. Between having to hire protection and getting slapped with taxes, it's more profitable to stick to Arizona and New Mexico. But I do cross the river from time to time when an opportunity comes along. All right. Have a look.
I wonder if he sells any weapons. Doesn't look like he does. Sort of mods for weapons, but no actual weapons themselves. He also doesn't have any stimpaks, which is annoying, but I think we're actually alright with them at the moment. Oh, maybe not.
I'll grab my tools.
Ah, you can't repair.
Be seeing you around.
I find it strange that we have no stimpaks. Don't know if Legion Boy over there took my stimpaks as well as my weapons. That's a bit annoying if he did.
Excuse me.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
Excuse me.
Not the same slave. Don't know if there's anything over this direction. I think we need to follow the actual path. I don't know which path I need to follow actually. Follow the main path so we don't miss any potential to talk to people.
Ah, move along.
Legion
wait
spreading
until they
stories
let me
about the
fight.
Burned Man again.
Don't bother me. I'm training to become a full legionary.
I know your kind. You die easily enough.
Okay.
I'm harsh on the children, but they'll be excellent legionaries. I'm quite proud of them.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the Burned Man again.
The new slave girls are quite beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they have any stun packs either. It's annoying. Hopefully I don't need any healing.
You here to fight in the arena? Then you're talking to the right man. Such as? Light armor and machetes only. The challenger, the one who asks to enter the arena, may be pitted against one or more opponents. All matches continue until one side is dead. No exceptions. I set up the fights, keep track of prisoners available, and make sure the arena's cleaned up. Most of the time, it's some young legionary trying to make a name for himself, hoping to get noticed by Caesar or the Praetorians. We pit slaves or prisoners against each other once in a while, but it's not much of a show. They're usually too reluctant to kill each other. Like what? A great warrior. When he was but a recruit, I watched him kill 10 men in the arena with his bare hands. He doesn't feel pain, and he never ever shows mercy. If all legionaries were like him, the Legion would be invincible. It's not something we like to speak of. The Burned Man was our greatest warrior, even greater than Legate Lanius. But he failed Caesar at the dam. He's been dead for several years now. But the rumor is that Caesar has scouts out looking for him all the same. The Burned Man was a very tough man.
Pretty sure that's Ulysses.
Go.
Or somebody who knows Ulysses.
If you're injured, I might have healing powder to spare. I never finished my training. The Legion saw to that when they overran my town. I do know basic first aid, but I've had to rely on tribal remedies to treat illnesses and injuries. Healing powders and all that. I'm always running low on Xanderroot. Plenty of Brock flowers, though. Oh, I've been using 2 roots per flower. Thanks to you, I'll be able to create twice as much healing powder per day. For sale? I'm a slave, not a merchant. I could give you some healing powder every day, but you'd have to be a friend of the Legion. I can only do that if you're a friend of the Legion. I don't want to get crucified. What about it? Do you have some advice? Was there something else? What do you want to know? A small town in New Mexico. The Legion burned it a few years back. That's how I ended up here. 3 years and counting. If I could just get across the river, I'd be free. Not that I'd try it. I've seen what happens when you get caught. We're property. If you're too young or too old, the men usually leave you alone. Usually. All right. A vengeful spirit. Some of the more superstitious women claim. He was a great leader of the Legion before he failed Caesar. The story says he was set on fire and thrown into the Grand Canyon, but his angry spirit rose from the ashes of his corpse, looking for revenge. Nonsense, probably, but there's no doubt that many in the Legion believe he's still alive somehow. The Legate is not a man to be crossed, especially if you're a woman. That's all I'll talk about it. Okay.
The mark of Caesar protects you.
Wow.
Our way.
Some
True
of
to
the
Kaisar.
slaves have been spreading true to Kaisar.
You're my best friend forever.
Oh Christ, I'd forgotten about you. How is that still spinning? Oh, it's got a generator. Oh, it was a foot-powered one. Right, it looks like this is where we meet Kaisar.
You must enter Kaisar's tent alone. Anyone else must remain outside.
Well, it's just me, so let's have a look.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
Oh yeah, there's Benny. Let's talk to Kaisar first, I guess. See us.
You're the courier who caused so much trouble for my legion, and yet you dare come before me. Years of meticulous scheming to place a mole at Camp McCarran. Wasted. So tell me this, because I really want to know. I am feared, with good reason. But you, of all people, dare to come here and stand before me, the mighty Kaisar. What were you thinking? And you fell for that? Really? Because I'm going to have you killed now. Relax. I'm fucking with you. You do know why I wanted to meet you, right? A man nearly kills you, so you track him across the breadth of the Mojave. You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat. You visit the tops, and next thing you know, the head of the chairman is fleeing the strip like a whimpering little pup. When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started? I have eyes and ears everywhere. It behooves me not to invade the West blind and deaf. It hasn't been hard to track your progress. It's not as though you've been keeping a low profile. The time is fast approaching when my legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching. Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch. And inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip Benny was carrying when we captured him. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried. Benny's theory, if I understood it through all the screaming, was that Mr. House stashed some kind of ultimate weapon down there. A gigantic robot to stomp us all to death. Who cares? Whatever it is, House built it. So I want it destroyed. Yes, but then I'd have to kill them. You don't get it, do you? The weapons I wield are forged from blood, flesh, sinew, bone. Mortal stuff. Fragile, even. And yet my legion obeys me even unto death. Why? Because they live to serve the greater good, and they know of no alternatives. House's machines, his technologies. What do they propose? The possibility of victory without sacrifice. No blood spilled, just rivets. That's not an idea to be put in circulation. If mankind's going to survive this moment in history, it needs warriors, not gadgets. I want you to destroy whatever you find in there. And then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Talk to Benny on your way out. He knows I'm going to let you decide how he dies. Maybe you want to remind him.
I see.
Awe, true to Caesar. It is a great honor for anyone outside the Legion to get an audience with Caesar. We recently obtained an artillery weapon, but we don't have the part or the skill to fix it. The trader Dale Barton salvaged it from a military base in Arizona. Yuma, I believe. The best marksmen of the NCR are usually at the rear of any battle. The gun will allow us to strike at them. The tribe calling themselves the Boomers is obsessed with such weapons, I've been told. You can probably find a spare firing mechanism there. He's the best warrior in the Legion. A full legionary by the time he was 12. He's never lost a battle. Had the Legate been in command during the Battle of Hoover Dam, the Legion would have won. I have no doubt about that. No, Legate Lanius is Caesar's second. The Legate replaced the Burned Man after the Legion's defeat at the Dam several years ago. The Burned Man was Caesar's advisor and general when the Legion was originally formed. The Burned Man led us to a disastrous defeat at the Dam. On Caesar's orders, the Burned Man was covered in pitch by the Praetorian Guard, lit on fire, and cast into the Grand Canyon. Caesar has forbidden us from ever speaking his true name again. And so we simply refer to him as the Burned Man. It's a tradition in the Praetorians to specialize in unarmed combat, because weapons can break or jam when needed most. However, our unarmed techniques favor offense over defense. We can charge the enemy and flatten him with our first strike before he can react. I'll answer if I can. When I was a boy, the Legion conquered my tribe. I was chosen for training as a legionary. I fought in many battles for the Legion. Eventually, Caesar chose me to lead his Praetorian Guard. It was a great honor. Girls and women were enslaved, and many of the men and boys were also chosen to become legionaries. The rest were killed. We were savages. The Legion raised us up, made us better than what we were. What did you want to talk about? Very well. Wale.
Apparently he has the only auto-dock.
I suspect you'll be a valuable asset to the Legion. Assuming you're really on our side, of course. There's a gambler, Martina Grosbeck, who has a knack for learning other people's secrets and passing that information along for a price. The Omertas, who run Gomorrah, have become suspicious of Martina's frequent visits to their casino. Soon they'll pay her a visit of their own. Good. Martina frequents the Vault 21 gift shop on the Strip. Hurry along, and she still may be in one piece by the time you get there.
Some of the slaves have been...
Was there more for us to discuss? To call Lanius ferocious would be an understatement. In battle, he seizes the enemy in his jaws and will not let go. He thinks nothing of suffering losses, so long as the enemy suffers more. Though unsubtle, he is not dim. He detects traps and sets his own. Be glad you will not have to face his judgment. If you are true to Caesar. Ah, yes. We are forbidden from speaking his true name. He was a shaman of some kind before he met Caesar, a holy man from out of the Utah. The Burned Man proved dangerous, unpredictable, and impossible to kill. He helped Caesar form the Legion, but almost led it to destruction. Wale.
Spreading stories about the burned man again. I'm looking forward to getting sent across the river.
Oh, let's have a look at Benny.
Go ahead and laugh, baby. I ain't blind to the humor in this situation. Yeah, well, laugh it up on your own time. Down to brass tacks. How'd your meet and greet with Baldy go? Try not to smile so wide, baby. You might break your mouth. Yeah, Baldy said you'd get to decide. So which way you leaning? Yeah, to die in my sleep at a ripe old age after a marathon session of hey-hey with 30 sex-starved broads. You'll set that up? Look, I ain't a harbor for illusions. I ain't expecting to get out of this shindig alive. That's why I'm trying to hand you my scheme, baby. It's called having a legacy. Yeah, real popular around here. It's a crowd pleaser. Sure. Baldy wants you to go down there in the bunker and destroy whatever Mr. House stashed there. Oh, you don't want to do that, baby. Whatever's down in that bunker is the key to the city called Vegas. So here's what you do. You go down there and you use the chip to do whatever Mr. House would have wanted you to do. And when you get back to the strip, you find Yes Man. I made it so that cat can't help but be helpful. Dig? I'm the most interesting person I know. Now, in the way back, we called ourselves the Boot Riders. Silly name, but that's how we rode the Mojave, dig? On our feet. We were nomadic badasses not to be trifled with. A gang of ruffians, though, with a certain panache. When House gave us the tops to renovate, his robots dropped off boxes full of suits and ties and wingtip shoes. Told us we were the chairmen now. That caused an uproar, but I said the name sticks. Chow to the old ways, baby. Time to swing in style. If the shoes fit, you wear them. 7 years. Took over 3 days after Mr. House introduced himself. Our chief at the time, mountain of a guy named Bingo, wanted to stay nomadic. I disagreed, so he challenged me to the knife. He looked so surprised when I stuck that knife in his neck. Thought he was so tough, but he was so slow. That's how I made chief. It's how things were back then. We were east of Vegas when the first Securitron we ever saw rolled up on us. We junked it in a minute flat. The next day, 20 roll up. So we listened. Said we'd been selected. Vegas needed us to defend it. In exchange, we'd get cushy digs, full stomachs, medical treatment. Everything a nomad never gets, in other words. Most of the tribe thought we should say no. I thought it was the best idea ever. I prefer the term relocate. It took every stealth boy I had to cross the river at Cottonwood Cove. That was a close shave, riding a boat full of Legion boys. Once I was across, I changed into a uniform I swiped off a dead legionary outside Nelson. Tried to sneak into the bunker, but that didn't work out. They found the chip. I wasn't gonna tell them what it was used for, but let's just say they were persuasive. Go on. I'm never tired of talking about myself. Ta-ta. Sing, baby. You got a captive audience. Which greedy overlord do you want to start with? Mr. House hides Vegas under his skirt when the bombs fall 1,000 years ago, so it belongs to him? Forever? You buy that? Baby, every boss has a line to explain why he's special. Why everyone's gotta do what he says. You're just figuring that out? Vegas gotta swing, baby. Gotta have pizzazz. Respect where due, but that old man is square to the core. The chairmen are true blue. The Omertas are degenerates. Never trust them. Or the white gloves. Just something creepy about them. Set it up right and the families will roll with your caper. You might have to do some convincing. Now you're talking. That is the ring-a-ding move, baby. First base is whatever Mr. House would have you do. Follow orders, rig the game to his specifications. Then, when he ain't looking, you knock him out of the running and find a way to take control of those Securitrons of his. Go see Yes Man. I made it so that cat can't help but be helpful. Ain't we covered this? The only thing not bad about them is they ain't Legion. The NCR is the biggest gang of thieves in the Mojave. Only difference is they pass laws to make their crimes legal before they commit them. Nah, just spruce it up with a crucifixion here and there. Come closer so I can step on you. The Legion is twisted, baby. Original losers worshipping the king of creeps like he's some kind of god. They're worse than roaches. My advice? Put on your stomping shoes. Go on. So you keep saying. You'd do that for me, baby? Don't tease if you don't mean it.
Alright, I think I'm just going to leave him here for the time being.
Ta-ta.
We'll talk again when you've destroyed whatever is down in that bunker. Not before.
Our way. Move along.
Oh. I think that's an accident. The deck.
None may enter without Caesar's permission.
Is that where I'm meant to go? Seems to be.
The new slave girls are quite beautiful.
Right. I think that's everybody can talk to. So I guess we head into there and see what's what.
Caesar has permitted your weapons to be returned to you while you serve him. Caesar has put a lot of trust in you. Be worth it.
And we're going to get a lot of messages about things returned to my inventory. Oh, maybe not. Ah, we have 36 stimpaks. So apparently that will open. How are you on if you don't have primary power?
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
Probably not going to pick up any junk until I know what's down there. I might need all my inventory space to carry it.
Do you like me?
No. Apparently this is optional. Oh, the house is down here. I guess we talk to him.
Well, you're here ahead of schedule. I suppose it's just as well. This is where I wanted you to end up after all. I knew I could rely on Caesar to give you back the platinum chip. The platinum chip unlocks this bunker. Hence, you have it. Hence, Benny was captured or killed. Possibly by you, but by my estimates, far more probably by Caesar's legion. Hence, Caesar gave you the chip. Hence, Caesar wants you to destroy whatever you find in this bunker. But that's not going to happen, because you're going to work for me. It's a facility I built many years before you were born. You might think of it as a kind of barracks. You'll understand soon enough. That's rather obvious, isn't it? The platinum chip is a data storage device. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this facility. There's a complication. While I can broadcast to this screen, I can't control any of the facility's systems. That means I can't deactivate its security bots, most of which appear to be active according to the status board I'm looking at. My army will do what an army does best: defend territory from invaders and maintain order. Good. I won't hold you up any longer. I see you reached your destination safely. Shall we get to work? Was that meant to be a shocking revelation? Of course Caesar wants it destroyed. He's afraid of what the bunker might hold, and rightly so. But you're not going to do that. You're going to do the smart thing, and work for me. I don't respond well to threats. Now, where were we? The platinum chip is a data storage device. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this facility. There's a complication.
Yeah.
That means I like to think you have enough sense to do the right thing. The rewards for doing so are immense, as are the punishments for not doing so.
Okay, so we don't really have a choice here. We need to go to the end of the facility and either destroy...
Ready, steady, fighting.
Either destroy the army or upload the data to them. Oh, fuck.
Please take cover until the danger has been eliminated.
Bad guys dealt with.
Brett was eliminated. Well, it doesn't look like they're very high level. Plasma rifle. Grenades. Right, we can't do anything with them. Alright. Makes things easier. It's just a sentry bot we need to worry about now.
Move along, please.
Wow. Lots of them. Oh, I'm radiated. I don't think that's going to make any difference. I'm still getting 1 rad per second. Oh, what a sentry bot does. That seems to be a way I'm meant to go. These are just power rooms.
Move along, please.
Oh, it's handy. Possibly the repair bot that stopped responding. Nice touch if it is. Right, I guess we go up the stairs. So, looks like this is the only option we have in this room. Alright.
Move along, please.
Are we being watched?
No. can't open that. So, do we talk to him again now? Or we leave?
Your work here is done. Return to the Lucky 38 so we can discuss next steps. You have a very bright future ahead of you. Thanks to your actions today, so does the rest of mankind.
Right, so do we have to fight our way past the Legion now? Or can we lie and say we destroyed whatever's down there?
You've carried out Caesar's will, but I must confiscate your equipment again. You're free to leave.
The camps are getting crowded.
Right. These still inactive? I mean, even if I tell Caesar that I've destroyed the robots, he may just check and find that I didn't. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out.
Outsiders are a rare sight at the fort. Step carefully around here and you might just leave alive. I'm Anthony, Master of the Hounds. Lupa. Yes, she's the mother of a lot of our best dogs. She's getting old, but she's still a tough old bitch. Aren't you, girl? Yeah. Cyberdog? Like the ones I've seen up in Denver? I know what you're talking about. And it would make Lupa immortal, in a way. Not too common, but you still see him around. You give Lupa a worthy death in the arena, and her brain is yours. Don't let your guard down just because she's old, though. Oh, and standard arena rules still apply. You don't get to wear armor, and you get only a machete for a weapon. Take all the time you need. Otherwise, Lupa will tear your throat out.
We can't really do that quest anymore with what you fixed, Rex.
What? Yeah. We breed them mostly, but sometimes we get some good ones from Denver. That whole city is overrun with them. Been doing it since I was a boy. The mongrels know to listen up when I start talking to them. Okay. It took years for Caesar to conquer Lanius' tribe, and Caesar showed mercy to the survivors, allowing them to join the Legion. Had the positions been reversed, Caesar would be dead. Lanius is called the Monster of the East, because he never, ever shows mercy. He's a story to frighten the younger legionaries. He's dead. No man, no matter how tough, could survive a fall into the Grand Canyon. Later.
I'm going to try and get out of this situation
True to Caesar.
without a fight, but like I say, he checks what I've done down there. I am royally screwed.
I felt the ground shake a while ago. I'll take that as a sign you've got the job done. There are rewards for doing as I command. Today, your reward is vengeance. You get to decide how Benny dies. Go to Benny. Let him know what you've decided. My Praetorians will perform the execution, unless you want to perform it yourself. You need to work on your bloodthirst. We won't speak again until Benny is dead. Walk away if you want, but if you do, he's going up on a cross. You're still making a choice.
Alright. Benny has to die one way or another.
So, baby, what did you find down there? So, all this time, the old man had an entire army on layaway? Clever player. Just imagine the look on Baldy's face when those Securitrons come pouring out on Judgment Day. I'd pay to have that bronze. So all you gotta do is talk to Yes Man. Figure out how to set things in motion. Make Vegas a town I would have been proud of, baby. Let it swing. I see. And how's that gonna happen? Machetes at 20 paces, hey? I accept your challenge. Don't do that, baby. Not crucifixion. I could be up there for days with those twisted creeps laughing and pointing. I see. Keep it simple, eh? Around here, it's one of the better options.
I think I'm gonna fight him in the arena.
Machetes at 20 paces, hey? I accept your challenge. You're a class act, baby. Not to say I'm gonna make it easy for you.
Don't you like me anymore?
Come on!
I have level 100 in melee weapons, mate. Figure this is going to get me a bit more rep with Caesar's Legion anyway. How did he manage to keep a hold of his gun? R.I.P. Benny. I'll pick that up. Oh crap, here we go. There we go. Where's my cheering crowd? Oh well.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
Yes? Here, come back in a day if you need more. I can't give you any more right now. Come back in a day. Okay.
Right, let's re-equip our equipment. Keep holding the machete for now.
We're very stealthy.
Right, let's go back and talk to Caesar one more time.
All out of stimpaks.
Which medics do we have?
Medics reserves empty.
Okay.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
I'm sure you found Benny's demise pleasing. The destruction of an enemy? There are few things more satisfying. Let's press on, shall we? As I was telling you before, I want Mr. House out of the picture. You have an interest in his death, too. If he knows that you destroyed his gadgets beneath the fort, he will strike back. You know where to find him. How he dies, I leave up to you. It's called an auto-dock. As the name suggests, it's an automated physician, more or less. He can treat broken bones, cuts, punctures, scrapes. Sometimes I bestow its use upon someone I favor. Makes for a powerful gift in a culture that forbids painkillers and is largely ignorant of medical science. What did you want to know? My Praetorians embody the martial ideals of my legion. Each one of them has done enough conquering and killing to deserve the rank of Centurion. Instead, I invited them to join my guard. So the invitee chooses whichever current guard he thinks is weakest and challenges him. The fight is to the death. It keeps them from getting complacent. Lucius has been the head of my guard for 5 years now. He was a subordinate guard for 8 before that. No invitee has dared to challenge him yet. Maybe it's an issue of respect. He is getting on in years. What else did you want to know? Wulpes is the best of my Frumentari, a remarkable individual from an unremarkable tribe south of the Utah. He was brought into the Legion as a boy, survived training, fought well enough as a legionary to be promoted to the rank of Decanus. Then in battle against an unimportant tribe, he broke ranks and led his contubernium through a hole in their defenses to capture its chieftain. Well, his Centurion wanted him crucified for disobedience, so I made him a Frumentari. Whatever I require, infiltration, assassination, dramatic atrocities to break the spirit of the enemy, etc. They're mentally flexible. They operate behind enemy lines for extended periods, imitating the enemy's customs without becoming sullied. In all these things, Wulpes is a master. What else then? Good. Don't know what kind of security he has inside the Lucky 38, but if you can find a way of catching him off guard, do so. Until Mr. House has been dealt with, you and I have nothing to talk about.
All right.
Was there more for us to discuss?
Right. I guess we head down and do some other side quests. Let's get back to the dock this way. And then we will save the game, because we're nearly at the hour mark.
Who do you think is cuter, Dr. Klein or Dr. Boros?
Awe.
Wow. 3 weapons lockers. Must have a lot of weapons.
Awe, are you ready to return to Cottonwood Cove? Very well.
Okay. Got all our weapons back. And let's have a quick look and see what quests we have. I mean, we've already used the platinum chip, so I don't know if that quest is still valid. I mean, they both take me to Mr. House. whom we have to kill, apparently. We've got a lot of quests that take us to the boomers now. So, I don't know. Let's see where that's based. Ah, Jesus, that's all the way over there. That's even further by the look of it. Nipton's pretty close. We might go do that quest, get the radiation suits, and then come back and raid Camp Searchlight. Yeah, I think that's probably a good thing to start off with. Might nip up to him and get Edie back, our robot companion. I kind of miss Edie. After that, I don't know. We'll just have to decide once we get there. But yeah, I'm going to save the episode here for today. Save it in the same place that we started it, more or less. And yeah, we'll leave the episode here. So in this episode we've been to the Legion's base of operations and talked to Caesar himself. He's asked us to destroy the robotic army underneath his little base of operations, which were created and owned by Mr. House. Now, apparently Mr. House had them built and didn't actually install an operating system on them, so they were pretty much useless. We've installed an operating system on them using the Platinum chip, and it looks like they are programmed to be an army. Now we need to decide what we do with this army. We can either report back to Mr. House and give him control over it, or we can kill Mr. House and take control of the army ourselves. I think that's probably what we're going to do. We're going to kill off Mr. House, talk to Yes Man, get the army under our control, and then decide what we do after that. In the next episode, we're just going to do a few little side quests, go back and get Edie from Prim, and decide what main mission we want to go for, I guess. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now. See you again soon.